My advice to you, start drinking heavily. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? Come on, you douchebags, we're all on the same team!
Are you a good kisser? You like smooching?
No!
Shut the fuck up, man.
Standalone fruit.
You look like assholes right now, man.
Mark found him naked in the bathtub, passed out with water flowing all over him.
This country is going straight to hell.
Did you hear this broad?
God damn it!
This is going great.
Liar!
No way, Corky.
And I'm gonna kick the living shit out of you, and I'm gonna knock your dick in the dirt.
Fucking fascist!
Sounds like pig's fucking.
Ridiculous.
You're a small petty man.
It will be 9/11 times 2,350
Are you trying to drive me crazy? What the fuck happened?
I'm producing a show.
All right, guys, here we go. It's been a while. Actually, I can't remember the last time I've done one of these, but on a very special episode of Pretend Radio, we have the young punk rockers from Blurg. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for coming over, man.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for having me.
So, where do we start? The world is a toilet. Everything is just misery and despair. But we have punk rock.
Yeah, that's something.
Let's turn this horseshit down in the background and actually have a conversation. But, yeah, so, I guess, let's go back to the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Well, this all started...
Yeah.
Well, it started when I went to a music...
That'd be great if you're like we all met in AA.
well,
it's like we were 13 and just life was not looking good.
Well, I went to a music school and I did this summer band camp thing, but like it was like for like
I've heard about band camp.
Yeah.
Well, it was for like rock band camp or whatever, and the dude there. He liked my guitar playing, so he had me fill in for this band that they have there called Tone Revival. It was crappy, but crappy band.
Yeah, I was the original drummer of that band. Yeah.
I met him I played the show there, and he was the drummer, and
Okay.
they were telling me like, oh, that guy likes Black Flag, like you were telling me. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So
And I like how old are we talking about?
I was 12, I believe.
I was 14.
Yeah.
And you were listening to Black Flag at 12?
Yeah, pretty much.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was really into.
Okay, you beat me to the punch because, God, when I was 12, like I think I was just getting into like Nirvana and like Green Day Dookie and stuff, and then I found
Green Day was my first punk band, and then I heard the Ramones.
I would say that was
Oh, I mean, like
my life was
as much.
changed.
Yeah, I mean, as much as people shit on Green Day, they're a very good stepping stone into like you don't go like from I don't know. Like Blind Melon to Pig Destroyer overnight, you know? Yeah, it's just like, I was listening to Weird Al, then, Gigi Allen popped up. I was like, that's on my Okay, so you guys started playing together, and even though it probably wasn't even the music that kind of wanted to be playing, but it's just like, holy shit, this guy likes something that no one else I know likes, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it was sort of like, because like before punk, I probably had a phase with like everything at one point, and I feel like because I finally met someone who was like around my age group and was sort of into the same thing I was, it sort of like made me think like, okay, you know, this is for me for sure because I have someone else into it.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of, you know, went away from everything else because there's no one else that was into that.
And
just,
was
you know.
this before even like the thought of like a punk band was a thing, or is this like, hey, there's, you know, other people who like this weird music that I like?
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of how it was because, you know, I've always, I mean, struggled with, you know, people not really being interested in what I was in, and it just felt like pretty bad. And then
Well,
It's fucking Jacksonville too.
I
yeah,
mean,
true. Yeah.
I mean, do you guys ever feel like when people ask you about like what kind of music you like, whether like, you know, like we're not even like diving deep, like trying to be like an elitist, but like you start naming some bands and you're like, I've never heard of any of those. It's like, like what are you talking about? You never heard of like RKL or like, what do you mean you don't know who Fear is?
Yeah.
But it's like you're not trying to be an elitist. It's just like it's just so outside of their realm.
Yeah.
And just because like when I'm going to work or like I'm in an Uber, you know, they're playing the radio. I'm just like, who the fuck like actually listens to the shit? It doesn't have to be punk rock.
Yeah.
But it's like this isn't good. There's no.
I mean, that's just
creativity
all
in it.
modern
Yeah, that's
pop
how I am.
music.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I don't know. It's like I don't know how we went to the from like
Having the Beatles to like
it's like we had
Taylor Swift or whatever.
Or guys who just
Yeah, we wanted, like,
make
Bri-
a track and then they just make up their own fucking language and just start saying whatever the fuck they feel like.
Oh yeah, well, and unfortunately in the music industry, and that's probably part of their downfall, is that you know when there's almost two identical movies that come out at the same time, like almost like word for word the same plot, the same thing. It's just like,
I mean, that's all Hollywood is just recycling
There's
old
not a lot of
ideas.
originality anymore nowadays, and it's kind of sad.
yeah, but that goes the same way for
music.
because like
Because it's all the same. Dun 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 dun. Whatever.
like like the same, like, okay, like let's just have like a 4/4 kick and some cheesy half-ass synths and
Then
some
again, you know, like
goofy vocals
then
on
again, I
top.
don't really have a problem, you know, with electronic music. You know,
No, I love electronic
like
music.
the old
It's
industrial
just knowing,
stuff.
like, actually
Like
making
Throbbing
music
Gristle
with
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah, like
stuff.
I love electronic music.
Yeah.
I just hate bad electronic music.
yeah.
Because it's like when it's bad, it's like, oh,
It's
this is awful.
really
Yeah.
bad. I mean, I guess the same goes to like when anything. Then again, I've never seen like a shitty jazz band because I feel like you have to be on point for that.
Yeah, honestly.
And it's like, oh yeah, he's just phoning in tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys meet, you guys start hanging out, you realize that you guys aren't the only two weirdos
Oh yeah,
out there.
it took us forever to find him.
A bassist.
Oh yeah, it
that was-
took
yeah.
almost
That's a funny story,
year.
actually.
Oh yeah, because we had so many people, and the first guy we tried out, we sent him a couple of songs to learn, and then we actually practiced at his house. Didn't learn any of the songs, and we just spent like the entire thing, you know, teaching him the songs.
And
It
he had,
was like,
he had a 6-string
yeah,
bass.
he had a 6-string bass.
Those are my favorite. Like I went to high school with this kid.
It's not like the Fender bass, like
Mm.
the Fender Bass 6 or whatever. It was like a 5-string and then like another lower string. It wasn't like
But like I don't know, was it a little ridiculous for his skill set?
probably, yeah.
And because I'm not gonna name his name, I'm sure he's a good guy, but I went to high school with this kid in like 9th grade. His first kit, probably close to $3,000. I was just like, you don't even know how to play the drums. Like, like why? Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna get Victor Wooten's bass. And it's like even after 10 years, I still wouldn't buy that. I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way too. You know, I get it. So, yeah, so that happened. And then after, you know, a couple months or so, like, there was this... I used to go to Kona all the time. I don't really skate anymore just because
The
I'm so
skateboard got
busy.
stolen.
Yeah, that happened too. But, that's another story. And then, so I was friends with this kid named... and he turned me on to this other bass player. And, like, literally... that was probably the biggest mistake I made, was I never actually met this person like that he was talking about, like recommending to us. And first he gave me the wrong phone number for this guy, and then once I finally got a hold of him, every time we tried to practice, he like bailed out like the day of.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And then like fast forward a couple months later, and then I guess those
This
two
is
run
funny
into
stuff.
each other.
I
It's
was like,
cool.
okay, I first met Alex at Fletcher High, and I was just sitting in the morning by myself. His awkward ass walks up to me and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "What's up?"
You're like, what the fuck do you want?
Well,
Yeah.
I always walked to this like certain spot, and I would walk by him, and then like he looked like, so like he had like when I went up to him, he had a casual T-shirt on, so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a guy.
It's
that
like,
I want.
okay, there's
guy's
something there.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, so then I was just like, you know what? The only way I can really like make something happen is just to go up.
Yeah,
to
just
him.
be forward.
Yeah. So I just went up to him and I'm like, hey, dude.
But,
And-
but that's a funny thing about like when you're in high school, like trying like figure out who like the punk kids are. Or, like
It's really hard to.
and it's like, huh? Like you're,
Yeah.
okay, you got a Clash shirt on.
Yeah.
But
I used
all
to
right, I'm just gonna eye you for a
Yeah.
couple of weeks and make you feel a little awkward
like
Yeah.
before I talk to you.
I would always see him walk in the hallways. I was like, he's got some cool shirts on, but didn't really feel like talking to anyone. I was just sitting there like, don't fuck with me. I don't feel like talking.
Well, I mean, the punk rockers aren't the most social of creatures.
yeah.
I would agree.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
but I asked him what instrument he played, and I was like, he's gonna say guitar. 'Cause everybody's plays guitar.
They always say guitar.
But then he was like, I play bass, and I'm like, what? Like we need a bassist.
And then
So it was
it
pretty
all
cool.
went downhill from there.
Yeah. I wanted to play bass because I was like, I'm not musically talented, but I want to play something.
That's how all bassists are, honestly.
I also like.
Wait, what, musically talentless?
Yeah, pretty much.
I used to watch Scott Pilgrim also when I was little, so. You get Alex?
It's just funny.
It's like, and I'm muting your mic, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, he like sent me some tracks and stuff, and they were decently okay.
And it wasn't
They're
actually
terrible.
till
See, that's what I strive for in my life. Is just decently okay.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be great at anything, but as long as it's like, that wasn't bad. It's like,
Yeah.
I will take it.
But it was funny though, for the longest time, since I lived so close to him, me and him just hung out, and like he'd always talk about Jason, and
Yeah,
I never met Jason and shit.
it's like,
We were
who's
just
this
writing- yeah.
third-wheel
Like,
Jason?
we were just writing songs. Remember, I was in the car with his parents from the first time meeting him. He was like, he doesn't care about your opinion, but don't care about his. Something like that. And I was just like, what the
my
fuck?
parents said that to you.
No, not your parents. Alex's
Oh.
parents or something.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't
What,
remember that.
about Jason?
About Jason or some shit.
I don't remember that.
It was like during that first time at the queer station. I think you probably don't remember that. But
I feel like Jason's just like having revelations. Like, what did I do back then? Like, what?
Probably. I mean, I was, you know.
that was a fun show though.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Oh yeah,
because,
yeah. When the first time we all met,
Mm.
it was we went to see the Queers. The first time
that
we
was
saw
a
the
kick-ass
Queers.
Okay, I don't know.
So-
We will get on
Yeah.
to this
Well,
connection a little later
yeah.
in the conversation,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's all starting to make sense now.
Yeah,
But,
that was
uh,
the first time like the three of us actually got together.
It
And
was-
it's funny because we didn't start practicing till
Yeah.
like
Okay, yeah.
It was still
yeah.
a concept, kinda.
yeah,
because I was so busy. I was doing.
Yeah.
I was in another band at the time, and I was trying to get into
that
this.
band was Dream Theater.
Is that White? Wait, are you still in that band? Is it Whitewater?
Yeah, Whitewater.
Whitewater.
And yeah, so I was in another band, and I was trying to audition for this art school, and it was like eating up a lot of my. Yeah, I went to. Yeah, I tried auditioning, and you know.
Okay, so
That ate up a lot of my time. So like after I was done with that in about maybe February, then we were able to start practicing. And the first practice we ever had was in my garage. I remember that.
And the neighbor complained.
Oh yeah, because he actually like. Oh yeah, there's a pretty.
how many times have you guys had
There's
the
a-
cops called on you for
Actually,
practice?
We had the cops called us
Twice.
Yeah, someone actually.
Twice. My neighbor.
I think someone. Yeah, I think when we practiced at my house, someone threatened to call the cops, and then
At
the-
my house, the cops actually showed up, and my neighbor saved us. He was like, noise complaint?
perfectly
God damn
timed.
So, so anyways, We were like,
Oh my god.
we were like,
I had the
we're-
worst laugh ever. I
we're,
apologize.
okay, so we're
You
gonna
can just edit that out.
No, we don't give a shit. Anyways,
Do you think I do editing on the show?
hell no.
Well, I don't
It's
know.
an hour long, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
We're all annoyed.
So we were gonna like play this backyard show in my backyard, and apparently the cops got called. My neighbor saved us. He was like, noise complaint. I don't hear one, and they just kind of left because my other neighbor called the cops.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was also the same lady that like
Yeah,
she came
yeah.
up to us during when we were practicing
Yeah.
in your garage, and she was like, "Can I speak to your dad, please?" or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't remember. And then we were practicing. It's actually recorded, by the way. Us practicing. We're
Yeah.
playing a song, and then his
He's
dad
just
walks
like-
in, and he's like, "Yeah,
Look,
you
Fox
guys are
Dick, I'm
gonna."
incredibly busy, so why don't you get the hell out of here before I snap your dick off and jam it into your ass?
But yeah, there's actually a recording of his dad going like, "Yeah, you guys have to stop practicing," or something like that.
I don't know what happened to that though.
Well,
I still have it, actually.
I mean,
my
because it's so funny because people always talk about like, oh, it's garage rock. It's like,
Yeah.
well, how can it be garage rock if I can't even play in my garage without the fucking cops showing
know,
up?
right?
Because
Police brutality.
I have no. Yeah. That's
It's like-
that's the applause.
yeah, because I mean, like
We had a 16-year-old with the instrument making loud noise in the
yeah,
back.
it's like
Yeah.
we
I remember he was like
I was mad.
pissed.
I was really
about
mad
it, yeah.
about that.
And then we just like played.
because it's your
Yeah,
outlet.
and then we
It's-
played.
It's
in
like
his,
we set up and
bed-
everything, and
yeah.
it's like only get a
And
noise
I had
complaint.
and I brought my own drum kit.
Yeah.
You know. And then we just played in his room.
My
and we
fucking
just
living
played.
room.
Yeah, we played a bunch of Ramones covers. Or
Yeah, I mean
something like
that's a
Like,
good way to
acoustically. Yeah.
play in a small bedroom to blow your drums out.
Yeah, and I think I had like
There's
like a
just
snare drum. or
like
something
sound
I was
waves just
sitting at.
bouncing in every which direction,
Yeah.
like fucking concussion grenades.
I think the first show we actually all played together, like an actual show, was
It was at his. Yeah, it was
no,
at your house.
No, like an actual show, like at a place, was Kona.
Yeah,
the,
true.
all
we
nighter
played. Yeah, for the lock-in. So at Kona, there's this thing called the lock-in where you actually get to spend the night at
You could put
Kona.
your input in on it, Alex. You know.
Yeah, at okay, there we go. But yeah, there's this thing at Kona Skate Park called the lock-in, and
But
someone
you
who
didn't tell us that it was for 12-year-olds. So
Well, I didn't know.
We played to
he
a
never
bunch
told. Yeah, he never told.
We
me
played
that.
for like 9-year-olds, and they were all pitting,
It was.
and they
It
were
was
like
actually-
like punching each other and stuff.
Like
That honestly
slamming
sounds
each other.
like
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
that honestly that day was so fun.
that honestly sounds like one of the best shows ever.
Honestly, it was because we also played pretty good.
I think that that's so. The funniest thing, in my opinion, was like the guy who was talking to us. He was like, he thought it was Jason's other band, Whitewater,
Whitewater,
which is
yeah.
what, like a
It was like a blues rock.
yeah.
Type of
So
deal,
he wasn't
yeah.
expecting a punk band to play, which is great.
But
Oh.
all he told me, like the guy literally told me, "Hey, you should bring your musician friends and play a couple songs for
Your
lock-in."
musician friends.
Yeah,
He like cut our set in half. It was like, okay, that's enough for now. Let's go have recess or some shit. And then like
reset. No, yeah, it was
30
like
minutes later, we come back to finish our set.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, we're gonna have tummy time right now.
We're gonna have nap time.
No, so okay, so you guys
I was like,
form a band, you guys start
Yeah.
playing. How many shows have you been booked on where the people there did not know what they were getting
The
themselves
first
into?
time we played Shantytown, that
No,
same
I think
thing
the
happened.
first show where people did not know what they're getting into was the Roadhouse.
I've never played Roadhouse.
Flag on
Oh.
Fire was like, hey, play this show. We're like, heck yeah. And then we got there, like, oh shit, it's 21 and up. And the sound guy kept giving us shit for it too.
Yeah, he was like,
Well, but they
Yeah.
let you play, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
let
they
us
did,
play.
but
the
they did,
guy,
but
like,
they
was
didn't
being
know
an ass.
we were. Yeah, they didn't know we were like young. So
Yeah, that's God. So I mean, how old are you guys?
I'm 16.
16, and he's
and I'm 15.
I'm turning 30 in like 4 days.
Happy early birthday then.
When I was 16, I wish I was doing what you guys were
Yeah.
doing, because it took me a while to actually get into a band. But I've played so many shows where either the promoter, the booker, or the audience there, especially like
Yeah.
if you're playing one of those weird like it's a restaurant but they have a stage.
That's literally what the Roadhouse was. It was like
Yeah.
this restaurant, and
Yeah.
they were playing like.
It was a fun show for me, though.
Oh yeah, it was a fun show because like it was our mission to probably like lower everyone's IQ, as we always say. You know, with our thing, it was just like the people there were just like, they were not into us.
Yeah, there's just like
The sound guy
And then
walked
just
by
like
and said
playing,
my
you
thing.
know, we're a punk band, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, energetic, you know, mosh pit, all that stuff. And then we just playing to a bunch of tables, you know what I mean?
see, what I call those are live band practices.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like nobody there.
Because there was this band in Jacksonville. They were called Toe and the Trigger, and they were, I don't know, it was like punk, but like almost like a little more hardcore.
Yeah.
Not like screamo, but like I don't know, like a
Like
Dr.
the-
No kind of feel to it.
RKL.
Yeah. So, but they were pretty intense. And so we were playing at Dick's Wings off University Boulevard.
That place, oh yeah, I heard they have live music there.
I want to play the
Yeah.
Dick's Wings.
And so, like, when we got there, they're literally just, like, all these, like, fat families eating wings, like, watching NASCAR. and
Watching
they're-
NASCAR.
Fucking America.
no, like, literally, there's, like NASCAR signs, like,
And
on
then
the walls.
And then when they look at you and they're just like,
What incarnation?
what? And, yeah, exactly.
well,
what you
we
said.
looked fairly normal at the time, but then Toe and the Trigger came on, and within the 30 seconds, that place cleared out.
I don't think that's ever happened to one of our shows where everyone just like
Not exactly.
Oh, well, they had no idea there was live music, let alone hardcore punk rock music was about to happen
I think the only time like
on like a Tuesday night.
the only time we've
On a-
sort of
yeah.
cleared, the only time we've sort of cleared out a place I think was one of our when we played at First Street Loft for like open mic night.
oh yeah,
And like we
and
start,
like,
like
everyone
these people
because-
started a pit and they dropped a candle and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, the candle fell off. Yeah, they hit a table and then
Oh,
like,
those
Yeah.
yeah,
candle
and
on
then
table.
Yeah, and then like
I just
someone had to
imagine
pick
it's
it
just like
up.
they're
First
doing
Street
some
Loft.
like seance in a pit, like with candles.
It was like a 2-man pit.
Oh yeah, it
It
was
was like a human
That was like-
pentagram on the ground.
yeah, that was like what we did was like there's this place and we used to just go up for open mic night.
and then Lang Shepard was like, "Hey, do you want some?" Actually, I called him.
Oh, Lang.
Lang's awesome.
yeah, he's great.
Oh, you
Giving
know,
us our
you-
first professional show there instead of just open mic night where it's a bunch of
10-minute
Yeah.
slot.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute slot. But like all the other like acts, for lack of a better word,
Well, that
were just
poetry
like
guy.
guys with like acoustic guitars.
It's always
and
guys
then there
with
was
acoustic guitars.
There's a
It's always
poetry.
guys
Dude,
with
there's a
acoustic guitars.
oh
poetry
yeah,
guy.
no poetry
It was
guy. It
great.
was like the most. Just
Was it
think of-
slam poetry?
No, thank God. But it was like the most depressing,
My-
awful poetry right before you're about to go play.
My favorite part is
It's
when he
like-
was- no, he has a poetry on his phone, and like I remember laughing so hard to the part when he's like, "As I sniff the white powder through my nose."
It's
and
a-
it was like,
yeah, it's like that's so poetic for doing cocaine.
I had like family there actually, and I think the best.
that should just be the applause. Whatever.
I think the best part was when he like stopped and he was like, "Is it okay if I curse with the little kids around?"
Oh yeah. And then someone said something. Yeah,
Give me one of
and I
those
think
sound
like one of our friends like said something, I don't remember, and then your mom like smacked him or something.
No, I think my family was just like, "No," and I shouted yes or some shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was it.
Honestly, the sound effects is what's making this podcast so great.
My original co-host, Frank Taylor, my wrestling buddy, he doesn't like that name, so of course that name's gonna stick. But I would just bombard him anytime he'd like call in when I'm doing a show. He'd call in, and I would literally just make a playlist of sound effects and just get off the mic, and he'd be like, "Dude, okay, I get it, okay."
You know what kind of reminds me? I don't know if you guys have seen that episode of Family Guy when like they're doing a podcast and Peter just presses on random sound noises and become DJs and shit.
Yeah, didn't there was like a episode where like Brian and Stewie, they like somehow get like a radio spot, and like Brian wants to make it like this, like, "You're listening to NPR,"
I think so.
and then Stewie's just like, "Fat boy and the baby." Just like that stupid like morning zoo radio like shock jock shit.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, there's like fucking like hot dogs like flying and like.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I just remembered when that used to be my alarm.
what the hell were we talking about?
Like just radio. Like I had the, you know,
This
one
is
of those,
a show of
yeah.
tangents. Okay, so, all right,
What the fuck were we talking about earlier?
yeah. So let's
About-
regroup, boys. Let's focus. We got this, guys. We got this. All right.
That's some art.
Okay, so you guys get together.
Yeah.
Takes a while to actually start practicing, and
A while is
so
an understatement.
Okay, we
took
actually
forever.
before our first shows, like I remember me and Alex, my grandma wanted me to play like this fundraiser, and it was
Oh
just
yeah,
me
and
and
I
him.
couldn't. And
Yeah, you
it was
couldn't make it.
Yeah, I couldn't make it because I think that was like the day of my audition for the art school.
We were
I was
supposed to get in.
detoxing.
We were supposed to play 5 songs, which would have taken like 3 minutes.
Yeah, considering how short our songs are.
So
No, you guys played 4 songs.
Just
I
me and
remember.
Alex with our shitty little fucking amps that are I don't know how big or some shit.
Like little like
And then-
21
Like,
amps.
yeah, like
Yeah, pretty much. Not even.
like we
Like smaller than that one behind you, that little
Yeah.
oh,
Ibanez.
like even smaller than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like small orange or some shit. But it was so
I think
bad.
didn't you say at that show like you purposefully made your guitar out of tune and then you were just like, I think my guitar's out of tune or something like
I
that.
think I did something stupid like
Yeah,
that.
I remember.
suck it,
So
Honestly, thank you for the sound effects. They're making it great.
me and him ended up playing Judy as a Punk like 2 times in a row, like back to back.
Oh, okay. Our first show was at Jackrabbits, like December 2008.
That's a heck of a place to have your first show.
I love
but
Jackrabbits.
there was no one there. It was like a Tuesday night.
That's
and
how it is for us normally when we play at Jackrabbits.
we
Yeah.
never draw at Jackrabbits. Like we do good like
Yeah.
at the beach, but
Yeah.
once
We
once
love-
we go across the ditch,
We love playing at Jackrabbits, but just no one goes. We normally just
Yeah.
play
Yeah,
at
'cause,
Nighthawks
like-
and shit. People go to those.
yeah. I mean, unless you're playing with like Toxic Holocaust or something, like it's hard to. Yeah,
I mean,
get
even the
people
show
there.
we played with barbed wire dolls. I mean,
That was-
nobody.
that was
Oh
was
yeah, you
there.
guys got a spot on that show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. There was only like 10 people in the
30
crowd.
people.
What's
Yeah.
sad because like we played with this band Fujiwara from North Carolina, and they're fucking awesome. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
like just surfer, but like still fast
Yeah.
punk. And there was like 30 people there, and I was
thing
just
about-
like, oh, that sucks, man. Like
The thing about Jacksonville, though, it's like, unless you're a big punk band coming to town, no one goes to your fucking shows.
unless you're like Guttermouth or
Yeah.
like something like that.
No
like even like
offense.
I played shows with Agent Orange and like not a crazy turnout, but it was just
Yeah.
like it's fucking Agent Orange. Like how
Yeah.
like
Yeah, man.
you know there's been shows where I thought like it was gonna be a huge turnout. And
That's
it's-
exactly what happened at the barbed wire doll show. But that show was still great
We had a nice
because.
turnout with
Yeah.
Battalion of Saints.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you guys play with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It was
Even
fucking
though it's
great.
probably
God,
one of
you guys
our
get some good
worst
shows.
shows
Lots
ever.
of shows, man.
It was-
Jesus.
okay.
It was just really.
Here's Jason's perspective. It was a good show. It just wasn't good for him because his kick drum kept going
Oh yeah,
forward.
because and
Did
I
it
had
have
to
a
keep
did it
pulling
have a
it.
rug or
It,
anything?
wa-
Yeah.
it was because I'm stupid. I didn't put the I didn't put the spurs of the kick drum on the rug, so it just kept like going forward.
But no, it was a,
Yeah, and it was just like awful because like I was like
Yeah, you're just
you
like
know.
it's like
Yeah,
No,
just
like
trying to-
because I didn't have time to like get it right in the middle of the song, so my foot is extended out like falling, trying to play.
You're just like in a lazy boy, like reclining, trying to play the
I
drum.
should, maybe I should play drums in a recliner.
Oh,
That would
God.
be sick. But yeah, it was just like because it was like this big band, it was just all these really, well-known bands, and I'm just like, oh man, I didn't play that great in
I'm a
front of these.
dipshit.
Oh,
fans.
okay, so
Yeah, it's the worst feeling
so
ever.
I have to ask you, as a band, we have bombed, and have you guys had a set where you just like immediately it's like this isn't going well?
yes. Actually, it was a birthday party that this girl wanted us to play.
Oh yeah, it was our.
We played her set
second-
already, and they're like, "Hey, play again." We played, and I like fucked up on one song. We're just like, "Man,
Oh,
this
yeah.
fucking sucks. Let's just stop playing."
Yeah, because like I think we were playing and and it was 1,000,000 degrees in
She
there.
made me coffee
We,
though.
we were tired though.
Yeah, and then I think he like dropped his pick in between a song.
Oh yeah, and I went to try to switch it, and I'm like, "Fuck me."
Yeah.
Like
That
at
show
that
was
point, it's
awful.
just like, fuck it. Like our thing is just try to make it through the end of the song, unless you colossally train wreck where you can't. But yeah, like there's definitely been some sets where it's like as soon as like for whatever reason like maybe we've had too much to drink or just like it's not clicking, and just as soon as the last song's over, it's like get me the fuck off stage. And it's like
that was how I felt the first time we played Shantytown, honestly, because
Shantytown's a weird venue.
Oh yeah, because
Shantytown's a very weird venue. Like I never know. I don't know what the vibe of that place is.
Yeah,
and like
it's funny because
it's fun because you get a show there, but it's complete other shit.
Well, that and you get to like
honest,
like you guys are from the beaches, right?
I'm sort of Arlington.
I live in Mayport, and my dad lives off Hodges, so I go to his house back and forth.
But like, so from like here, it could take you like 40 minutes to get to goddamn Shantytown, and then it's like 4 people, and they're all drinking craft beers with like their arms crossed, just like staring at you the entire set. It was just like, why are you at a show?
It's awkward to pit there, definitely. Like I remember I saw Discord. Our good friends with us, Discord Generation. Our first time meeting them, it's me, Alex, and Ashton, 3-man pitting. Like what fucking other guys are like, just like, what the fuck are these faggots doing? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's funny because like the first time we played at Shantytown, it was just like the worst show ever because I think Alex's dad didn't show up with his gear.
We don't need to discuss this.
Okay.
This was a.
I think
is this internal affairs?
Okay.
But bad events make for good stories.
No, he was. It was just timing. We messed up.
Was shit.
And then the band,
you big bald fuck.
and then
a lot of misunderstandings happened that day. Pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
All right, have you guys ever gotten to the venue and just was like, I forgot my guitar?
He forgot something.
Yeah,
I
I forgot the legs of my floor tom. And we had to go drive back to get it.
I think I forgot my cord once I got there. I was like,
I forgot the head of my amp one time.
Fucking god!
Oh my, that sounds awful. I'm sorry.
Luckily, we were playing with like bands we've already played with, and we were kind of in the middle. So I was just like, dude, you might have to use your head, and we were like, man, I don't give a shit. But like when you just get there, you're like,
the only thing like I have to worry about bringing is my cord and my bass, because he has a bass amp that I have to use. Like I'm like the one that doesn't have shit in the band except the bass.
You're one of those.
Fuck.
Every band's got one.
Such a burden.
Giving basses a bad name over here. God, God damn it, Skylar.
I'm sorry.
So, how did you guys get into the instruments you play? Because I always think that's kind of an interesting backstory.
I started playing drums when I was a little kid, like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and because my dad was a drummer, and also he had all these like drumming DVDs, and I saw Buddy Rich play. I saw him want to do one of his drum solos, and I was like, okay, I want to do that.
My dad was a drummer too.
Yeah, and then I saw John Bonham play, and I was just like, okay, I definitely want to get into that. And then I started playing guitar around, maybe I was in like 3rd grade, and then I picked up bass 2 years later.
For me, I just watched Scott Pilgrim, and I was like, I'm gonna play that.
Everyone needs a bassist.
That, and I was like, there's not a lot of basses in Jacksonville. I mean, like, I might as well be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, like.
I can't play guitar. I can't play drums.
I mean, obviously, you can't. Blurg wouldn't be a band with each and everyone. But like you were saying earlier, you're like, he's gonna play guitar. He's gonna play guitar.
Yeah.
And so it's always like, oh shit, you play drums?
Yeah.
You play bass?
Yeah.
You play the bassoon?
And the recorder.
Kazoo.
Yeah, we need a kazooist.
A kazooist.
If anyone knows a kazooist out there, hit up Blurg.
We should have we should just replace him and have him play the clarinet, and then 2 other people will just play the kazoo and recorder.
I just want to get MIDI tracks for like your new EP, which we will definitely plug, and just replace all the guitars and bass with kazoos and recorders.
So would the kazoos be the bass?
I don't know. That really depends on your range.
Yeah, Yeah, the range. I think the kazoos would be
Depends
the
how
bass, and then the recorders would be the guitar.
I mean, it kind of depends on how strong your humming vocal range is and how strong that wax paper is.
Yeah, dude.
So, was guitar your first instrument? Do you play anything, or like how did you even want to pick up an instrument?
My dad had a guitar, and I just remember it was Epiphone SG. I just remember like picking it up, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." And then I got one for my birthday one time, and that's what kind of got me into it more. But I was really into skating too. That was my first I wanted to be a pro skater. And that
I was skating until I ate total shit, and I was like, "This is really painful."
Yeah, for me that kind of stopped. I rolled my left ankle twice, and then my right once. But after do it, I got to the point where the tricks I had to do were down seven stairs, and I'm just like, I'm not good enough to do this.
Yeah, I never made it to that level. That split we did with Concrete Criminals, where we're all in
I have that on vinyl, by the way.
where we're the inside photo.
Yeah.
Where we're what was that, J Run in the back?
Yeah, the J Run.
So I decided after getting a tattoo and drinking at my buddy's Frank Bago's house. So I'm probably 8 beers deep already. It's kind of misty out. It's it's wet. It's I should go down Snake Run, and good God, by the time I hit the second bank to go to the third one, speed wobbles and just ate my fucking dick.
Yeah. Where's the sound effects?
We need them.
Sound effects for that.
Don't you laugh at me!
Thought you were gonna do the friends thing for a second. It's but
Are we doing a sound off?
if you want.
Yeah, that's probably what this is turning into.
I think I used to skateboard, and then I was as soon as I realized, you get called a faggot for mall grabbing, I was like, man, fuck this.
So I used to skate because I wanted to, but I really suck at it.
He would make fun of me for skating Mongo or some shit.
What are you, Mongo?
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it was all in good fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't,
Goofy foot, go home. So, okay, so obviously, you guys are still in school, but into punk rock. And how many times do you guys get called a fag?
I don't really.
Not
Actually,
really.
I don't get called a fag. I get called a goonie or a goth.
A goth?
I remember at my old school, I used to get called emo.
Okay, that shit pissed me off. You're like, oh, you're goth or you're emo. It's like, do you even know what the fuck you're talking about?
Yeah, it's I don't listen to Depeche Mode.
I like The Cure, but I'm not into them that
I mean,
much.
I like them, but I'm not. It's I'm not crazy about the Smiths and
I dig some of that, but it's I don't fucking comb my hair and to spike it up and put eyeliner on.
Yeah.
I've told kids several times, hey, look up the images of what these faggots look like, and then look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
used to get called emo at my old school. Just because I had long hair.
I remember one time, I had I had a tri-hawk, but the mohawk part was a foot tall and pink, wearing studs and jean jacket and all that stuff, and these two jocks wearing their stupid ass Letterman jackets, look at this faggot, and I was like, you shower with other dudes on a regular basis, I think I'm cool with that, That's fine if you want to do that, but I feel like the dynamic of this word's been turned a little backwards.
There's been times where people don't say fag anymore. They just call me sometimes a school shooter, which kind of irritates me.
I have a funny story about that. Actually, it's not that funny. It's more terrifying. But so where I work, there's a gas station right down the street.
Yeah.
So we were pretty slow. So I was like, hey, all the gas in the kitchen. Do you guys need cigarettes? A Red Bull, whatever.
Yeah.
So everyone gave me their money, and I just went to the store. There was a cop just hanging out as a register, and I didn't give a shit. Whatever, some fat fuck sitting right there. He happened to be fat. I'm not just saying that. And I had half my hair was dyed black and half it was red, and apparently he told the cashier that I looked like James Holmes the guy who shot up Aurora, Colorado.
Wow.
And he was like making jokes about it. And I was like, that's pretty fucked up for
Yeah.
a police officer to do. And then
For sure.
when I left the store, he followed me because I was just riding a bike.
That's like the time when me and Sky were at Walmart and these two like security guards just start following us.
We almost
oh,
got
this is a great
yeah,
story.
We were at Walmart with our friends and like they were following us and shit, and they're just like, "You gonna buy that?" I'm like, "Yeah."
And it was just like,
I was at the fucking Coke section like trying to buy a soda,
Yeah.
and they followed me all the way to the cash register, and like one of them was like, "I've dealt with these kind before." Like
These goths.
like what the fuck?
when Ashton fell over on the bike. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much they just followed us throughout the entire store, and it was just weird. And then we just went to
As
Target.
soon as we noticed them following us, then they like approached us and tried talking to us.
and then we just
We
got
I was
out.
like,
I was like,
fight,
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I was with my friend Chloe, and her little brother was with this, and I was like, okay, you can't tell anyone about this. And he's like, okay. He told my stepmom, like, because we were so punk, we were like breaking the rules and shit. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Breaking the law. Breaking the law. But yeah, that was a great story. Well, yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah. There's been a couple times me and Alex, so I would go to Alex's house and I was like, hey, let's go skate around because he lives on base.
might
I'm
get a
like,
little closer to the mic.
oh shit, sorry.
There you
And
go.
we were skating on the base and shit, and like we got pulled over by a cop, and they're like, you're supposed to have a helmet, knee pads, like a chest guard, elbow guard, like all this stupid shit.
It's like,
Bubble wrap.
it's like, why the fuck do you care?
yeah.
It's like, don't you have rapists to catch?
Like skateboarding on base sucks. Like there's good spots. There's good spots we can't just like cruise on and shit without getting yelled at.
Oh yeah, I remember like the school down the street. Was like Rawlings, like the elementary school
Maybe.
in Ponte Vedra. Like they used to keep the gates open. You could,
Yeah.
on the weekends you could use the playground or play soccer or football. But now it's like fucking like a medium security prison, and like if you're even 1 second past like when they close, you're trespassing and they fucking arrest you. And it's just like don't we pay tax money so like we can use these things? Like really, like we can't play soccer at a school.
I was at like Providence just riding my bike, and like I guess security guard
First
there.
mistake.
I guess the security guard like she like pulls over and she's like like in a gun position. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, you can't be here. I'm like, I'm just riding my bicycle. She's like, you gotta go. If I see you on this property, I'm arresting you.
Well, I mean that's the weird thing in this country is just like it's normal to point a firearm at kids.
Yeah.
And especially I don't know how you guys lean on the whole gun control
that
thing.
stuff.
I'm personally I'm fucking tired of people talking about their goddamn guns. But yeah, it's just like what the fuck is happening there? It's like a kid who is on the
Just wanna ride my
on the
bike.
soccer field at their school, and you're gonna point a fucking gun at them. It's like really like are we that hostile of a nation where like that's like well, he's probably got a bomb to him, so I should probably just shoot out a couple floaters just to see just to test the waters.
It's just a warning shot.
Yeah, I mean
Shot me in the leg.
I guess that kind of leads to my next question. So like what like in the group when it comes to lyrics, how does that work? Does
Mostly Alex does the lyric stuff.
I write some songs too.
I'm mostly the guy that's like, I think we should add this or not do this and stuff.
but I mean like explicitly when it comes to lyrics,
he's
like
definitely
He's
the main
definitely
guy.
that guy.
so what are your kind of like where does the song come from?
Masturbation.
I mean, I've
I mean, Green Day did it, so why not us too?
Well, I just sometimes when I'm
it's like
making
Blurg.
That should be a
That's a story
sound
for
effect.
another day.
Well,
It's like that was a weird gig.
I just come up with a song name and then like something.
And then you
funny.
write it around
Yeah, I could write
from
around
it. So like.
The short bus.
Because I remember early in the Wace's career, if well, lack thereof a career, but like I don't need the soundboard. You got it.
I'm that one guy who does like all
Jason,
the
Heyo!
Jason will come here like every once a week or some shit to do a podcast with you just to be the sound guy.
just to be the sound effects.
He's just doing the Foley's. But
It's like in the movie, like in the 20s where they didn't have like.
yeah, it was the Foley artists that would do all the.
Yeah, they would do all those sounds.
Yeah,
and stuff.
like a sheet of tin for thunder, like all that kind of stuff. They still do that shit. It's pretty crazy. But I remember like giving Jeremy like lyrics.
Yeah.
Like we had the music, I basically wrote like.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
pretty much me when I write songs. It's like I write
Yeah.
instrumentals. I do not write melody.
I'll write like a basic, just like here's what I'm thinking for like a verse and a chorus, and then from there we can kind of
that's
figure
usually
it out.
how me and him write.
Yeah.
Pretty much is.
And like I'd write some lyrics to it, and he's like, dude, nothing against your lyrics, but this is a little out of my wheelhouse. Like, I don't want to talk about the crisis in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So, normally, like when you're writing lyrics, like are they trying to be like fun, kind of silly, stupid?
Yeah.
because we feel like there's too many bands just like
too
writing
political, too serious.
Yeah,
It's
so,
like let's
why
bring
not-
some fun back into punk rock.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much our approach.
Yeah, like love songs and shit.
I'll be back.
But I
This next song's called "This Bitch Broke My Heart."
yeah, pretty much.
Actually, I think one song we all collabed on was for me and Alex were going to Indiana was Mall Cop.
Yeah, we wrote
That-
a song called Mom.
I wanted to write a song about mall cops because I was mad at a
Kind of
cop.
starts out like a little slower,
Nah, it's straightforward. It's like mall cop, like just straight. But it's like
or kind of like mid pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
like-
Yeah. I can hear it in my head. Yeah.
But I wanted to write it because I was so pissed off. 'Cause my friend invited me to this fucking birthday party. For some reason, he wanted to be at the mall for a whole day. Now this cop's following me like through stores and shit. And like I remember I ran up to my friend and I like pushed the hat off him and I called him a faggot. And then the cop was like, "Okay, you need to go."
You got to go.
So I was like, "Can I walk this way? Because it's the closest way out." And he's like, "No, you gotta walk like half the mall or some shit to get out." And he was like, "Normally I would kick you out for yeah that." That's our shitty demo.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's just us though.
Oh, one time.
At band camp.
Actually, one time at the Avenue Mall, I thought it'd be a good idea to eat a whole box of Triple C's, and I thought I was dying in the Avenues Mall. How I never got arrested. The fact that I've never been arrested is fucking beyond me.
Oh god.
Have you guys had any close encounters?
Not really. I mean, like I've had a cop walk up to me because he thinks I'm doing something suspicious.
Is that
Well-
pants down, boy?
Well, yeah, I've had one actually. I live on base, so I was
You say you live on base?
I live on the Mayport military base. My
Military
dad's-
family?
Yeah,
hate
my
me.
dad's in the military.
They don't
but
like me.
we the guards there. I don't like the guards.
They gave me shit.
How does your
They
dad
don't
like the whole punk rock thing?
They gave me and Austin, me and Alex shit for going on base
Yeah.
once.
He likes it. He totally supports.
He's just
it.
like, do your
Yeah.
thing, buddy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Alex's
And
dad's
he's
so awesome.
And
Like,
he
Yeah.
likes that stuff
he
too. so.
drives us to our shows. If we need something, he'll
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, that's
He's
awesome.
really helpful and nice.
But about the close encounter thing, well, one time I was going to my friend Levi's house, and it was around I told my dad that I was gonna.
I
go.
remember this.
Yeah, I told my dad that I was gonna go, so he knew about it, and I went up. I was walking past the gate, the gate, and it was around 10:30. So I was going over to his house. He this guard, he's like, "Hey, come over here," or he was like, "Hey, stop," or something like that. I had my earbud in. 'cause
It's
I was
just
walking.
like, yo, jabroni, come over here.
Yeah, he was just like, hey, you stop. And then all of a sudden,
Yo,
like,
you guys.
like 3 guys come up
Hey,
to
you,
me and
let's
they're
have
like,
a Pokemon battle.
they're like, where are you coming from? And I'm like, my house. And he's like, why are you going off base? I was like, I'm going to my friend's house and stuff. And he was like, okay. He's like, do you live on base? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, what's your address? And I tell him that. And then he's like, so where'd you come from? I'm like, my house. And he's like, no, where'd you come from? And I was like, I walked out of my house and I came here. And he was like,
Oh, you want to be a tough guy?
he was like, so you didn't stop anywhere? And I was like, no, I didn't stop anywhere. I came from my house straight here. And he was like, okay. And then like they go over there and they're talking, and then they come back and they're like, okay, so we've heard some suspicious things going on in my neighborhood about some kids smoking.
What the fuck happened?
He's like, we heard some things about someone smoking a cigarette on their front lawn, and I'm like, I don't.
But you might call it a fag.
I don't do that, and I didn't do that, and they're like, do you have anything on you? And I'm like, no, and he's like, I'm like, you can check me, I don't have anything, and he's just like, they didn't believe me, and like, I'm like, I mean, am I being like, you're telling me that I did this and I didn't? But all in all, they let me go. But it was just freaky because I didn't do anything.
The level, like, how much hostility it goes from, like, level 1, just like, hey, what's up, to I'm about to fucking shoot your face off.
Yeah,
it's like, wow, that escalated fucking
cops
quickly.
For some reason, do not like me and Alex. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Because
you make fun of mall cops.
Yeah. I don't know. That was
Blart level.
That was just.
I remember one time my buddy, we were hanging out at his apartment, and he hooked up with a chick, and the condom broke, and so she started freaking out.
The Roblox death sound should be in your sound effects.
Oof. So she starts freaking out, because she's had a couple drinks in her, and she wants my buddy to go to the Walgreens to pick up a pregnancy test. It's like, that's not exactly how it works. You gotta give it a minute before you know that. So he like runs out the door and was like, what the fuck is going on? So like, I'm just gonna let him like stumble his way to the Walgreens. So I'm walking with him, and we're coming through this parking lot, and we see these headlights, and then just like go straight straight for us, and it was like, fuck, this is a cop. And so like my buddy like explained his situation. I was like, I'm getting a pregnancy test for this girl I'm seeing. And it's like, I'm just the fat friend tagging along, making sure this didn't happen. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, there's been a lot of car break-ins in the Walgreens parking lot. Convenient that you're going there. I was like, what the I just told you we're going to Walgreens.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I've never heard of one car break-in in the fucking Ponte Vedra Walgreens. Anytime I pass that place past midnight, there's 5 cops chilling there, because it's like one of the only 24/7 places ever. It's just like, it's like, are you trying to like fuck me up and like trying to just like, we were going to Walgreens, but that's because we raped someone. It's like the first 48, where it's just like, it's like, really, that's all it took you, took for you to crack? And it was like, I was really hungry, and I killed the bitch. I was like, Jesus, dude, what the fuck?
Oh god. I just listened to Anal Cut, and I just wanted to do some fucking stupid shit.
All I'm saying is Hitler was a sensitive man, and Pottery Barn is gay.
Okay.
Such poetry.
You want to talk about the EP or something? Or,
Yeah.
or how all that came to be.
See, I mean, this is a show of tangents, and today when I woke up, I did not think I was going to be talking about anal cunt.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Okay, so you guys have been playing for
Maybe
Almost, I think
almost
a year.
a year,
Actually,
yeah.
probably a year.
And I
No,
mean,
in a year
you
in
guys
April.
get a lot of shows. I mean,
Yeah, November we had like our whole weekend was much fucking booked for that whole month.
and
that was great.
So you guys go into the studio, and so how do you meet up with Joe Queer from the Queers? Like, how does that happen? 'Cause
Okay.
So
So
it was, it literally, we were just like,
it was our first show of going to the Queers.
yeah.
That was the
and
first time.
Jason,
this
you
was-
got it the first time. You got his number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I got his
Yeah,
number.
Joe
Number
Queer just
of
gave
your
you his
band.
number because you're like, yeah, we got a band.
Yeah.
Wait, is that all you said? And he was just like, "Oh, come up to our studio." Is that he said?
Yeah, he was just like talking to me. I think he was like, "Yeah, man, I record bands, so if you guys want to come up, here's my email and phone
Well,
number or
I
whatever."
think what mostly got us Joe to like us was like, as soon as like we saw, hey, that's fucking Joe Queer. He was like, hey, come help me unload my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Like,
like,
When did you discover that you were so beautiful?
And we were just like, dude, we get to fucking load
These
Joe
sound
Queer's
effects are
stuff
great,
on
don't
stage and
ever
off
stop.
stage. It's fucking awesome.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those freak out
Yeah.
moments.
And then the last time that we saw them, I went up to him and I was like serious. I was like, hey,
I think
like,
we,
would it be cool if we came up and re-recorded like 5 or 6 songs?
Well, I know like when we saw him with Agent Orange, we talked to him, which was cool.
that's
Yeah,
just how
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. That's just how
But-
you know we're not interesting when the guy doing a podcast
Goes to
actually
the
gets.
bathroom.
No, but remember,
His
that the
IQ
last
probably
time that I
lowered
came up,
from us being here.
the last time that we saw them, I went up to him. I was like serious. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Can we go up there? And he was like, how many songs? I'm like 5 or 6, and he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, for sure. And then it just went out from there. And
It's
then
like,
we
we're fucking doing this.
we were able to work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was just a amazing experience. Just
Yeah.
going and recording with him.
We'll get more into that when he gets back.
Yeah.
When we return on Pretend Radio.
Add some shitty music. Like,
Honestly, I'm hearing the Hawaii 5-0 theme song playing right now. Or whatever.
okay, so yeah, now that you're back,
No one was supposed to know about that.
okay, so yeah,
Oops.
Alex went up to Joe and was like, well, first we saw him at Agent Orange with him, and we're like talking to Joe and stuff, like, yeah, let's totally
And this is
record.
when I had walking pneumonia, so I couldn't.
Yeah, he
go.
couldn't make it.
Oh, I
And he was like,
was
you know what?
awful.
I don't agree with gay marriage.
So for the third queer show we went to, we were just like, hey, let's.
I'm gonna have to isolate that.
we were like, hey, we're just gonna do like 5 songs and stuff. It wasn't meant to be an EP, honestly.
Mhm.
It was more like, oh, let's just do it for fucking fun. And then it went to 7 songs and like, hey, let's do a fucking EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, fuck it. I mean, we're in the studio. Like, if
Yeah.
we're, gonna
Which-
go all the way to Atlanta, record.
Yeah.
Joe honestly actually liked us though, because like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
told us so many stories about how bands like on their 3rd day they're still fucking setting up drums.
Yeah.
And we got the drums done in like 4 hours or something.
See,
like
I-
that.
No, 4. Well, not like setting up the drums. It took us like
Like
40
we're actually
minutes.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
we
it
got
was
the
real quick.
we got the drums and the guitar done in one day.
Yeah.
And then the bass and the vocals done in one day. And
But
then,
I've also made the mistake of just trying to record everything in
Yeah.
one day. So there's a fine line of like, being
the thing
too
is,
picky about
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
and then rushing through.
like we didn't feel like none of us, nobody felt rushed. Like it just
Yeah.
felt natural. Like oh,
And
well,
it just-
we got it done.
Yeah,
So,
and that-
so
that's a great
in your opinion, being in the studio, what do you like? What's your least favorite part about
when you
it?
first get done with your instrument and then like and then realize for the next couple days you're not going to be doing like anything.
You
I think-
sit in the studio just listening to take after take.
I think
Yeah.
my least favorite part, like it didn't really happen, but like I didn't want to piss off Joe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like it didn't. That never happened. But I was just fucking scared shitless. Like I don't want to piss this guy off.
Yeah, it's just like it's like, am I being annoying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No,
No,
yeah,
he
I
was,
totally know. What
he
you
was
mean.
like, "Do you guys want coffee or anything?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I didn't. I was so freaked out about doing the vocals because I'm just like,
you're telling me that.
I
vocals.
really wanted to like get them good, and I was like freaked out if I'm like, okay. I was like, I went
Especially
up there.
in
I was a
front of
little
Joe.
sick. I went up there, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, like 7 songs, like, and he wanted us to do another track just in case something happened.
Yeah.
So I had to nail the part 3
And
times.
did you guys like double up vocals or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
gang
Doubled up the
vocals?
vocals.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
gang
did
vocals,
gang
yeah.
vocals.
He
Joe,
helped-
Joe said we're really good at doing gang vocals.
He also about Joe, he like made our songs better.
Yeah,
a lot of
like,
our songs.
he came up with
yeah,
some good
yeah.
fucking
Recommended
ideas to do.
stuff, yeah.
Like,
Like a bunch
it,
of
it was
backup
really fun,
vocals.
like him and us like collabing on shit to do, and like he even like did some parts in our songs, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's like our buddy Big Jim. You know, he's been like connoisseurs. He's been in a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
Over the years, he's recorded 2 of our like EPs, albums. You know, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But like, you know, we'll be recording them. He's just like, okay, well, how about on the last chorus?
Yeah, that's exactly what
you
he
do
did.
this, and then it's just like, oh shit, like that's
Yeah.
that's way better than what we were doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that all
Yeah,
like
it's-
he made our songs better.
Yeah,
in my
so you know,
opinion.
it's kind of cool, like, you know, especially
Yeah.
when you have a veteran.
Yeah.
You know,
He gave us some nice advice and stuff, like, which is really
yeah.
cool.
You know, like someone who's like, yeah, I've been through the ringer, so like, yo, I'm not telling you you have to do it
Yeah.
this way, but why don't we just give it a take? And
Yeah.
if you guys don't like it, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
so what's the EP gonna be called?
We do
We're
not
still
have a
debating
title
on that.
yet.
Like, I was like, hey, let's name it after our song Poser, just because like I normally do the artwork and stuff in the band, so I'm like, I can easily draw up this fucking kid
Yeah.
getting like pointed at and laughed at or some shit.
Mm.
But we want to name it after one of our songs, but we're not sure what to really do.
Yeah, we
we're-
do not have a title for it, sadly.
We're-
Donald Trump, our Lord and Savior.
Our commander in Cheeto.
Butt fingers.
So
We'll just name it Blurg. You're not gonna like the CP, so don't even bother purchasing
yeah,
it.
it's just
Like,
it's like, well,
don't even
it's
fucking
self-titled because
like, at first we were gonna name it self-titled just because we didn't know what to fucking name it, and we're just like, we need to name it something. We need to give it a name.
So I will say for I guess I should say I will ask for you know, guys your age, like,
Yeah.
you know, when you go to school, like, what is there like a punk crowd, or is it just like kind of like a handful
it's a
of
whole
dudes?
nother world for me, honestly, just because like for me it's like there's not a lot of punks at Fletcher. It's mostly just, it was mostly actually me and Alex at first introducing people to stuff, so we have like a small kind of thing of friends. Like, he doesn't go to Fletcher anymore, but it was like a small little, maybe like 5 people that actually know what our band is and what we do and actually go to our shows.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a really weird world, like playing a gig and then going to school the next day, like, fuck, I'm a nobody now.
Yeah,
Like-
I was like, I was just on stage and there were people
Yeah.
dancing, like, you know,
Yeah.
having a good time,
According
like,
to
made a
well,
little money.
My little brother goes to DA, and so
Yeah,
does
same
Jason.
school I do.
And I was told that apparently we're bringing punk back to DA, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like, what's that even mean?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, and I just don't socialize, so
Yeah.
I don't even know who's punking.
You've
me.
had
Yeah.
you've had people come up to you and be like, hey, when's your next show? Like,
Yeah, there was these 2 kids that it was like a couple or something. They were like, "When's your band's next show?" And I'm like, "How
I
do
don't
you
fucking
know?"
know.
Yeah, because it's just like it. I don't know. I'm not really the most social person ever. So like,
Yeah.
whenever someone
Yeah.
actually just randomly comes up and starts, you know,
No,
having a
and-
conversation with me, I'm just
and-
like shocked.
And
You know
nor am
what
I.
mean?
Like, I'm not the person who their cell phone, you know, it's good to be blown up.
yeah.
But like, when it comes to something like this, like, I'll talk to you guys for 10 hours.
Yeah.
You know, because I actually give a shit about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just like, oh, you want to go to the Jack's Beach Bar? I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Am I playing a gig? Then maybe, but
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
it ticks me off normally. It's like I'm actually doing something at my school, so it's like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going out and playing shows, helping writing songs, and like practicing 20 for fucking 7. When you got faggots or kids, like, you got kids or some shit on like SoundCloud, and everyone's like, holy shit, this guy's so fucking good, but I'm getting called a fucking loser.
I think I
We work
actually.
hard. We play hard.
We're actually like
I actually
trying to
have a
do
good
shit.
I actually have a good story about this. So my teacher,
They have a SoundCloud.
no, but they let this. Thank God.
What's up,
But-
kids? Here's my mixtape.
Yeah, and so they let him put the link to his SoundCloud like on the chalkboard or whatever, and like I gave my teacher like the link to like one of our songs, and she literally crumbles up the piece of paper I gave to her and throws it in the trash.
What was the
where it
title of the song?
belongs.
Do you remember?
I think it was the Girlfriend's Undead single that we did a while back.
So, I mean, like, why'd she do that? It's just like,
I don't even know.
She just looks at it. This belongs in trash, and just.
yeah, it's like,
But then again, we do suck. So
yeah.
she did the right.
But it's
thing.
okay. It's punk. It's supposed to suck.
Well, I mean, next time the Wasted does the Anal Bead Tug of Tour.
Oh God.
You guys should definitely need to join us.
Play the sitcom laughter. Yeah.
Plays the Seinfeld theme song.
So,
Oh yeah, he has a Seinfeld shirt on, just so everyone listening to this
I
knows.
love Seinfeld,
So
My parents
and that was the first thing I noticed when he walked up.
of course, you got a fucking.
Seinfeld shirt.
So I guess before we close this up, so how did each one of you kind of get into punk rock? Like, we kind of touched on it earlier, but the show kind of
I would say
My
I'd say
mom
parents.
showed me. My mom showed me "I Want to Be Sedated" by the Ramones.
I would
that
say
was like.
I would say
I mean,
that's
I was
a-
listening to like Green Day
Yeah.
and like Blink-182.
But I mean, that's definitely a good one to start off on for
yeah,
sure.
and I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is now my favorite band. I need to listen to every other thing they do, and I was just totally blown away by like how. Because the thing is like it was about the rawness of the music, and it was so refreshing from like
It's
all
like-
the popular
Yeah.
music that's
It's
like
and
just,
actually, I do
It's
want to be
raw.
sedated.
yeah.
It's like, this shit sucks.
Yeah. For me, it was like I had a weird kind of childhood with it. Like, I really like Green Day because like my dad, he has like a big ass fucking collection of just punk CDs and shit, and he's into punk and all that. And I was mostly into Green Day, and then like I went through a weird phase where it's like I'm into electronic shit, and then I'm like start listening to the Casualties, and I'm like, man, fuck, this is great. And I just go from there, and I started from. I actually kind of started in like a weird order, like how punk did start. Like I started off with the Ramones, and I moved on to the Sex Pistols and the London scene, and then I was
Yeah.
like Black Flag and Minor Threat and all that shit. It was really fun.
But also like me too. Like I don't just listen to punk. I listen to
Hashtag
a
me
lot.
too.
But I consider myself a pretty
Hashtag I have
open-minded
opinion.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those believers that believes there's something good in every genre.
Oh yeah.
There's always-
I mean,
there's always
you-
And I'm
something
pretty
good. Except
optimistic
country.
about
Fuck
that.
country.
Or hip hop or whatever.
I mean, unless it's like some like the old school kind of like outlaw country. It's like
yeah.
when they're talking
Yeah.
about,
Like
talking about taking
Williams and
Vicodin
Johnny
and drinking
Cash.
whiskey. It's like,
Hell yeah.
I can relate to that, but it's just like, Jesus, take the wheel. Or like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Like
My
Like
green
pop.
tractor.
Yeah.
Agree. John Deere.
Yeah.
Alex, how'd you get into punk?
My mom listened to like Rancid and the Suicide Machines, and I thought it was like
Really, your mom?
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
yeah. She like I remember she showed me like Buck 09 too. Like she liked ska punk.
Buck 09.
Yeah, she liked like ska punk, so that kind of got me into it. But
Oh, that's cool,
But,
man.
but I went through like a really bad metalcore phase where I liked asking out.
We all have our awkward phases.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
And-
for me it was Christian rock.
and then
That alone deserves the comedy, the sitcom laughter right there.
the answer.
Yeah, that
But-
was my weird phase.
And then I found this band called Title Fight, and then I liked more of that stuff, which got me more into like punk.
It's like,
And
then I just got into MMA and started just beating the shit out of people.
yeah.
I saw Muhammad Ali do it. I can do it too.
But then I just liked like Black Flag, and
I
And
don't
then-
care what you say.
then now I'm just into just
Yeah, because like at what point was it more the music or
I
the
just
lyrics that you
For
gravitated to?
me, it was the music
Yeah.
because it was just so raw.
Yeah,
and
you're just kind of like,
aggressive.
what is this?
It was something. It's
and just the speed of it.
yeah.
like
I never pay attention to the lyrics at first whenever I listen to something. It's always the instruments that like draw me in
me too. I'm
and stuff
the
like
same
that.
way.
Is what gets me into like a band or something.
Yeah, it's just like
It's just a simple bass.
there's
riff
just
or-
like this weird raw energy to it,
Yeah.
but it's like sloppy,
yeah.
but aggressive, and
Yeah.
just like, well, I'm sloppy and kind of
But then again,
passive aggressive.
You know,
Yeah.
if you go back, if you go back in time, I mean, the Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah,
Elvis
I mean,
too,
Down,
just in a
down
different
is
way.
up.
yeah. I mean, there's a There's
like all the early rock and roll.
But like even if you go back to like jazz, like I mean,
people
like
those
jazz guys, like
even
that was fucking punk rock back
Yeah,
then.
like punk's been around.
Oh yeah, because
since
jazz
the
was
birth
called,
of music, in my opinion.
But it's just like
it wasn't punk the genre, but it was that.
It was that
it was
attitude.
the attitude. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, like we don't have to worry about like
I'm gonna
cops,
play
like,
what I'm gonna play.
It's like the cops are raiding our
Yeah.
shows, but you know, like back then it's just like like
And also
the
just-
Negro is raping the
Like-
white women on their marijuana in the jazz clubs. Like that was fucking punk rock. You know?
Like Johnny Cash, like he played
I mean,
country, but he had that punk rock attitude.
It's like
you can give
to
a fuck.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
just
like
did what
to
he
play. It's like to play like a prison, and then say something like San Quentin, you've been living hell to me. That took some balls.
like
back
fuck,
in the
Elvis
day.
dancing's punk apparently.
Yeah, because like they showed it.
yeah,
from the waist.
you used to edit like when you do
Yeah,
TV shows.
Yeah.
They would edit it, you know,
to where it was just the
so-
waist up.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
couldn't see him
exactly.
gyrating his
Because
hips or anything.
that was too sexy. I mean, that would just drive the women crazy. Just a guy just shaking his shit up.
It's
Yeah.
like the school dress code.
School dress code.
So obviously it was the music first, but then
And just the message of just like
Yeah.
being yourself, because that's something I always really struggled with, was like, man, there's just nobody like me. There are points in my life where I actually tried to like change myself in order to fit in with other people.
yeah, I do. I remember
And I just
when-
felt like I was just this oddball without a purpose.
if I had a picture of me in 6th grade, you guys would laugh me out of this fucking room.
we're
Like had like the stupid like gelled Caesar haircut, like with like this like stupid like fake silver chain, just because like I thought that's what like
was
like
into.
those like the popular boys, and
Yeah.
they the girls are paying attention to them. And then after a while,
And then,
I found
just-
like Bad Religion,
And then just the
Fear.
message of just like, be yourself. You shouldn't care what other people think. That also kind of resonated with me.
Yeah.
But it was just
Yeah.
the raw aggression and the speed.
And I also
And also the production too, because it was
only-
like, because some of my
It's
favorite
like
records
minimal.
would,
With
it would be considered
Yeah.
lo-fi production.
yeah, I mean, like if you listen to like the Germs
Like, even-
discography,
I fucking love the Germs.
like
I'm
even
sorry.
Yeah,
Louie
like
Louie, they did that in some like cheap studio where it was literally
Yeah.
just like one mic, and then the singer was like far
yeah,
back.
and
then-
they probably barely had enough
Yeah.
tape just to record the song.
I think
Yeah.
there.
And then
yes,
I cannot talk today. And in that recording,
It's good for a talk show.
I guess
Yeah.
so. But yeah,
I'll bust
in
your
the
mouth, man.
recording, you can actually hear him like stop himself because he starts to sing, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to come in yet." Like even that's like
That sounds
Real-
like
real-
every one of our live performances.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, real quick, back to the thing where
At practice
there's
today.
punk's majority is like, yeah, you could be yourself, but there is that small group of fucktards that are like, oh, if you don't have a mohawk or studded vest, you're
Yeah.
not fucking punk. The
Yeah,
fuck out
we-
of here.
we do not buy
But yet they
into
listen
that.
to shit like Ramones or Black Flag, and it's like they didn't have mohawks.
Yeah,
They didn't have
or-
anything.
They
They just
had
wear
long
fucking jeans
and they were
shit.
just
Honestly, like the punkest people I've ever known, you would never know, like unless you get to know them.
Yeah.
And I've had the mohawks, Liberty spikes, dyed
Yeah.
hair, and I love all that shit.
Yeah.
It's fun, and that's the point of it. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to, just like,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if like you think this is weird, but I'm having
Yeah.
fun. But then it also gets to the point where people are like, "You're just a fashion punk." It's like,
Yeah.
the whole thing is fashion. Like
it's like
everything
that
in life
ending
is
scene.
fashion.
It's like the ending scene in Salt Lake City Punk, where
Yeah.
where Bob, wait, no, not Bob, but Steve-O realizes that like punk was just like all about fashion or something.
If you have a
That
job
ending scene.
and you're getting paid and you have a car,
Yeah, it's and
You're
also
not
too,
punk.
it's like the
yeah,
same
it's just
thing
like,
about like
oh, you have a
Green Day.
landlord? Fuck you, you're not
Yeah.
punk.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, we don't want to sleep on
It's
other
like,
people's
you
floors.
take lessons to learn an instrument. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And you actually try to learn your instrument and write
like-
songs with melodies. Oh, you're not.
It's
punk.
like, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
30 and I need health
Yeah.
insurance. Like, fuck me. I guess I'm not punk anymore.
yeah, like we never. I personally, I don't buy
Alright,
into all that stuff.
Yeah. But, it's just kind of funny how, people no matter like what it is, it doesn't have to be about punk
Yeah.
or anything, but
general,
you can
yeah.
just take any sort of like subculture, and then you just have
Yeah.
people who are elitist on like both sides. Like, oh, you're not wearing plaids, you're not punk. Oh, you're wearing plaids, you're a fashion punk.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck that. It's just like, why are
Yeah.
you ruining a good thing?
You're not
Yeah.
supposed to give a shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're a little over an hour.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah. I
okay.
mean, we can go as
Okay,
long as you
okay.
guys want.
Famous
So-
last words.
So, one thing I really don't like is that because there's not a lot of
The
venues.
Jews. It's like, whoa,
No
dude.
one likes the Jews. Alright, so
That's getting isolated.
okay, so there's not a lot of It really sucks because there's not a lot of venues for us to play like at fucking the beach.
Oh, because like 21 up, all that.
Yeah, that's
kinda
why
stuff.
I don't like. I wish I was like 18 at least, so I can go to the Harbor Tavern because there's a lot of good fucking shows to play there. But it's like I can't fucking go.
Well, I wonder if you talked to Danny.
Like
You know, if
we
you kind of explain.
someone has for me, and they
Yes.
said like they just don't want to deal with underage kids playing.
I guess just
even though
too much of a
Discord
liability.
generation
Just
played
Yeah,
there.
but it
just
just
because like obviously like
Yeah.
you guys wouldn't do anything, but like
Yeah, exactly.
There's been times I
Just-
want to see like you guys play, but I can't because it's at the fucking Harbor Tavern. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, fuck me.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that yeah,
Sick
that
call of
that
laughter.
definitely blows. But I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, America is a very litigious nation
Yeah.
where any minor thing equals a lawsuit, and then and it's like, oh, our venue's shut down.
Because of some asshole.
Yeah, it just.
But it,
Well, I mean, people also kind of generally
yeah.
suck in general. I try not to have the, attitude that's kind of why I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't suck. but
Yeah.
but in general, I don't know. Just I think people are very just you kind of have to cover your ass.
Yeah.
On everything, and especially if you're not making a lot of money, you never know where the
Yeah.
next paycheck's gonna come from. But no, definitely, keep doing what you guys are doing. And
Yeah.
do you guys have any dates to plug?
Oh,
Or to plug?
We got the 28th. That's
At-
confirmed. Which
At 1904.
Which we're still selling tickets for.
I think the Wasted is banned from 1904.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us the story.
Okay, so we were playing with the Vibrators, and there was no one there.
Yeah.
I should probably get a mic for this. There was no one there, but the Vibrators had to use our equipment because
Yeah.
they're from the UK, and I couldn't imagine how much it would be to
Yeah.
ship all that stuff over here and drag it around from
Oh,
gig
yeah.
to gig. But for whatever reason, Jeremy and the sound guy got fucking into it. Because Jeremy, I don't know, he was kind of like dancing around, being an idiot, and I think he knocked some of the mics over.
Yeah.
Which I get the sound guy being pissed off.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I didn't hear it, but I saw Jeremy on the edge of the stage talking to the sound guy, and I guess that conversation did not go well.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we're playing, and then he just started muting all the mics
That's just a dick move.
and stuff, and then Jeremy threw a beer at the soundboard. like it just escalated. Like it just got worse and worse, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, God.
And then, of course, we had some of our dipshit friends, and I love those guys, but it's just like, yeah, can you not step in this? Like, can we just try to figure this out as a band?
Yeah.
I don't need 8 other people trying to be like, fuck you, dude. Like, the Wasted is. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ! Like, you're not helping the cause here at all.
Yeah.
And
That's always nice.
I went to get a beer, and the bartender's like, your singer's a fucking asshole. You guys are never playing here again. I was like, well, I mean, that's what happens when you fuck with the waitress, I guess. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I mean, it should never happen in the first place, but it was like, I don't know, just shit happens sometimes. But yeah, so I don't think we'll be playing 1904 anytime soon.
Yeah, we're playing 1904 February.
We got a show
28th,
at
and
Shanghai Nobby's.
March
too.
20th.
Nobby's, I like that place.
We're playing Knob Fest.
Yeah, Knob Fest.
Knob Fest.
I like
Yeah.
Nobby's, just I've noticed every time I go there's not a lot of people.
Yeah, the last time we played there wasn't much going on.
But then again, it's like.
But it's a cool little spot.
Yeah.
The cool people. So I
It's
would
fun
say
to play out of town.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're listening, you're in the area. Definitely check it out because they always have live music going on. There's always something.
We might have 2 shows I think coming up in Nighthawks, the May 12th and May 26th.
Yep.
That's a possibility.
That's a
It's
possibility.
not yet confirmed though.
I guess the only show the Oasis potentially has, I think in June. I don't know the date.
Wow.
The Murder Junkies are coming to the tavern.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, so I think we might have a spot on it, but I could be wrong. But who knows? Do you guys want to plug like Instagrams or Facebook pages?
I guess.
Where
we
can
have.
people find you?
Alright, so our Instagram is blurg _official _ page. That's our Instagram, and then you can just look up.
And then just look up
us
Blurg
up
on Facebook.
Yeah. That's all we have
And
for social media.
I try to post like every day. Just sometimes it's just there's nothing up to really fucking post.
Oh,
So it's like-
I mean that's the same thing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like, am I posting something just for the sake of posting,
Like-
or
Like when we're at practice, I'll like try to like go live or something. Be like, hey, we're practicing this day.
yeah, you
Yeah.
just kind of want to keep people as like, oh, like,
keep
we're
keep
still
everybody
here.
interested.
We're not
yeah.
dead yet.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Alex, Skylar,
Yeah.
Jason, thank you so much
Any day, man.
We
for
appreciate
being
it.
on. Let's definitely do this again.
Hell
Then, next time we can
Next
just
weekend.
talk about. Actually,
Part 2.
I'll just stop the recording. We'll do another one. And we'll just do a whole another podcast.
Part 2. Hell yeah.
You never know.
All right. We'll see you maybe next week. For now, you can find us on YouTube. Just look up Pretend Radio. And
Yeah.
you'll see it. There'll be a download link, and I'm working on it to get back on iTunes and all that stuff. So it's trying to upload the back catalog. But thank you so much, guys.
Hell yeah.
No problem.
Love hanging out, man. It's awesome.